There's a moment almost no one warns you about. It's not the moment you realize someone is controlling you. It's not when the manipulation becomes obvious. And it's not even when you decide you've had enough. The most dangerous moment is something quieter. It's the moment you try to leave. Because for manipulators, control isn't just about keeping you close. It's about what happens when you pull away. When you stop responding the same way, when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop playing your role, that's when the panic begins. And that panic activates something psychologists recognize as the exit trap. If you've ever tried to set boundaries and suddenly faced guilt, anger, fear, or overwhelming affection, if walking away somehow made things worse instead of better, if leaving felt more dangerous than staying, this video will explain why. And more importantly, how to break free safely without escalating the trap or losing yourself in the process. Stay with me, because once you understand how the exit trap works, it loses its power. What the exit trap really is. The exit trap is not a single behavior. It's not one argument. It's not one emotional reaction. It's a pattern, a psychological response that activates when a manipulative person senses they are losing control over you. To a manipulator, your independence feels like a threat. Your boundaries feel like betrayal. Your silence feels like abandonment. Not because you've done something wrong, but because you're no longer predictable. And unpredictability is terrifying to someone who depends on control. So instead of letting go, they tighten their grip. They reach for whatever emotional lever has worked on you before. Guilt, fear, obligation, shame, love. Sometimes all at once. This is why leaving often feels chaotic, confusing, and emotionally overwhelming. Not because you're weak, but because the trap is designed to destabilize you right when you're trying to regain yourself. Why manipulators panic when you leave? To understand the exit trap, you need to understand one uncomfortable truth. Manipulators do not relate to people the way healthy individuals do. They don't build connections based on mutual respect and autonomy. They build systems. Systems of access, systems of dependence, systems of emotional leverage. You are not just a person to them. You are a role, a source of validation, a stabilizer, a regulator of their emotions. So when you leave, you're not just moving on. You're disrupting their entire internal structure. And when that structure starts to collapse, panic sets in. That panic shows up in very predictable ways. Sudden apologies that feel dramatic and rushed, promises that somehow never existed before, emotional breakdowns that shift the focus back onto them, threats disguised as concern, or cold hostility meant to scare you into compliance. None of this is random. It is psychological containment. The goal is not resolution. The goal is to stop the loss. The 4 most common exit traps. Let's break them down clearly. The guilt trap. This is the most common and the most effective. You try to leave, and suddenly you're reminded of everything they've done for you. Every favor, every sacrifice, every moment they were there. Your boundary is reframed as betrayal. You're told you're selfish, ungrateful, cold. The message is simple but powerful. If you leave, you are a bad person. And because you care about being fair and decent, guilt pulls you back in. The fear trap. This one works quietly. They imply consequences without always stating them directly. What will you do without me? No one else will understand you. You're making a huge mistake. Sometimes the fear escalates into threats, emotional, social, financial, or reputational. Fear doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to make you hesitate. The love trap. This one is most confusing. Suddenly, they become everything you once begged them to be. Affection, attention, vulnerability, promises of change. But notice the timing. It didn't appear when you were hurting. It appeared when you were leaving. That's not love. That's leverage. The chaos trap. This is when everything explodes at once. Arguments, drama, accusations, emotional meltdowns. The goal is overwhelm, because an overwhelmed mind can't plan an exit. Chaos exhausts people into submission. Why just leaving doesn't work. People often say, just walk away. But psychologically, that advice is incomplete. Manipulators don't respond to logic. They respond to loss of control. When you leave abruptly without preparation, you trigger escalation. That's why so many people return, not because they want to, but because the emotional pressure becomes unbearable. Breaking free safely is not about courage alone. It's about strategy. The most important rule: do not announce your exit. Here is a truth that saves people. You do not owe manipulators an explanation. Announcing your exit gives them time to activate every trap they have. Healthy people respect boundaries. Manipulative people exploit them. The safest exits are often quiet. Less emotion, less explanation, less engagement. Distance before declaration. Leaving quietly does not mean leaving weakly. In fact, it is often the strongest move. Not every exit needs a confrontation. Not every truth needs to be announced. Not every boundary needs an explanation. Silence can be strategic, and peace does not require permission. How to break free safely. First, detach emotionally before you detach physically or socially. Stop explaining, stop defending, stop trying to be understood. Clarity invites manipulation. Silence restores power. Second, reduce emotional supply gradually. Manipulators feed on reaction. Reduce your emotional responses, reduce personal disclosures, reduce availability. You are not being cold, you are becoming unavailable to control. Third, expect the counterattack. When guilt appears, recognize it. When affection spikes, question the timing. When anger surfaces, stay grounded. This is not change, this is resistance. Fourth, strengthen external support. Isolation keeps the exit trap alive. Reconnect with trusted people. Ground yourself in reality outside the manipulator's narrative. Perspective breaks psychological control. Finally, exit without drama. No speeches, no final debates, no emotional closure. Closure is something manipulators use to re-enter. Your peace is the closure. What freedom actually feels like. Freedom doesn't feel euphoric at first. It feels quiet, unfamiliar, sometimes lonely. That doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It means your nervous system is recalibrating. You are adjusting to life without constant pressure. And slowly, clarity returns. Your thoughts become your own again, your emotions stabilize, your confidence rebuilds. That's how you know you escaped the exit trap. A final truth: not everyone who panics at your absence cares about your presence. Some people only miss the control. Walking away safely is not cruelty, it is self-respect. If this video gave language to something you felt but couldn't explain, take that seriously. Clarity is the beginning of freedom. If you're here to understand how power, control, and manipulation actually work in real life, subscribe. And remember this: they didn't panic because they loved you. They panicked because they were losing control. Freedom doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like silence, distance, and never going back.